Good evening, faculty, parents, guests, and students. I'm Miss Leslie Tam, the Director of University Guidance, and I will be your MC for the evening. May I ask you to please rise to welcome the class of 2022. Please remain standing for the Singapore National Anthem, which will be performed by Marilena Kolokotsa and Edwin Chia.
Singapura
Thank you. Please take your seats. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to our grade 12 graduation ceremony. I'd like to now welcome our head of school, Mr. Sean Omini, to say a few words.
Distinguished guests, parents, teachers, students, and most importantly, class of 22. Good evening and welcome. I am very pleased to welcome you to our graduation ceremony of the class of 2022 and the award of high school diplomas, a first recognition of you students as academic scholars. The term high school originated in Edinburgh, Scotland, the oldest being the Royal High School, founded in 1128. The high prestige of this Scottish educational system then led to many countries to adopt and to develop a similar system. And it was in 1635 that the Royal High School was employed as a model for the first high school in the United States, the Latin High School founded in Boston. So today, we are continuing a long tradition in education. And you, class of 22, are a unique class in the history of our international school. Some of you having joined the school in grade 6, over 7 years ago in some cases, in GEMS World Academy. But despite being a singular class, you are also individuals. It is often commented that how can someone, during a graduation ceremony, where the speaker tells students dressed similarly in caps and gowns that individuality is important. But your caps, gowns, and mortarboards actually have a significance. A key question for you as you sit here today in oneness, who each of you actually is. And indeed, this is a question that hopefully you will have thought about during your time in high school and addressed in varying aspects of your IB studies, realizing that others with a different point of view may also be right. Individual capacity cannot be forced, and true learning is dependent on self-motivation, self-readiness, and self-determination. Constantly, you have been encouraged to find your own ability and develop yourselves in different ways. Education requires patience. Students taking responsibility for the expectations of their own learning and being ready to conduct self-assessment is important to this process. The potential for you to engage in self-reflection is not only powerful in your own learning, but also in your ability in making self-enhancing choices in your independent, personal, and social lives. You are here today because you have met those challenges. Remember you all have capacity and competences that go beyond your ability to do so. In the philosophy of learning, it is generally accepted that individuality is an asset in the adult person. And the first maxim of the teacher must be respect the individuality of the student or person. As a matter of fact, great teachers everywhere, whatever their background, have always instinctively done so, right down through the centuries of time. What does this mean? It means study your students, the individual person. Observe their diverse capabilities. Note the interests and motivations of each person. Find out their exact present attainments and their varying powers of application. Then modify your methods of action to adapt to each person. Do not treat everyone in the same way. Be sympathetic and empathetic. Constantly study how to build relationships and get the most and the best from each student. Class of 2022, I would suggest that in the broadest sense, adopting similar considerations in your personal interactions with others in your future could serve you well as a lifelong learner. So, where is the individuality when everyone dresses alike? When it can be difficult telling one student from another. You graduates, you haven't graduated yet. You can laugh for that one. Thank you. You graduates, however, understand. You've had the experiences to understand the true meaning of diversity while you have been coming to know yourself. And today, you leave the school and the group that has enveloped you like the gowns you wear now. Your recognition and appreciation of your enhanced individual identity starts now. You have an obligation to yourself. Some might say to continue to teach yourself, and others to realize you and your own capacity. Life is lived in the context of your experiences. The present and future is now your time. Use it well. Live it fully. Today, you know more than yesterday. You know much more than when you were in kindergarten. Follow your own inquiring mind. Belief in yourself and tomorrow, and you will know more than you do today. Individuals, the class of 2022, always proclaim your rarity. Each of you is a unique person. I wish you continued success. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Omini, for your warm welcome. Please turn your attention now to our baby photos presentation featuring the class of 2022.
Someday you might just change the world. I know you're changing mine. Someday you might have a family. Don't worry, take your time. In the between and every part, I'll be by your side. I love you, 'cause you're a piece of my heart. Whatever you do, wherever you are, no matter the time, the place, near or far, in all the good and all that's hard, I love you, 'cause you're a piece of my heart. I love you, 'cause you're a piece of my heart.
We would like to now welcome to the stage Mr. Mark Peterson, our secondary years principal, to say a few words.
Good evening. Parents, guardians, teaching faculty, Mr. Omini, but most importantly, our graduands. I would like to thank everyone for their attendance tonight as we say farewell to the class of 2022. Allow me to start by saying congratulations. We are so proud of you. Your days here at XCL World Academy are complete. There are no more IB examinations, IAs, extended essays, completing of CAS requirements, attending homeroom on time at 8:45, of course, and most importantly, no more uniform infringements. You know who you are. It's over. You did it. But what now? Well, the time has come for you all to embark on this next and very exciting chapter of your lives. It fills me with much pride when I can confidently say that you are all ready for the journey ahead. But before you leave, we venture into a period of reflection as we look back on what has at times, I'm sure, been a turbulent experience, but also an extremely satisfying and ultimately rewarding one for you all. I know that I speak on behalf of the teaching faculty when I say that nights like tonight are filled with mixed emotions. We experience feelings of joy and adulation given the significance of what you have all achieved. But we are also filled with sadness knowing that when the school reopens in August, you will have started your next adventure, and you will not be here with us. We do, however, take solace in knowing that your legacy as the first graduating cohort of XCL World Academy will live on. For your parents and guardians, I'm sure there is without doubt a real sense of fulfillment, given this is such a wonderful milestone for you all. I am sure that alongside that feeling of fulfillment, there are many parents seated here this evening who are also feeling slightly relieved that you, their pride and joy, has now officially graduated from high school. It does prove that, dare I say, the nagging, constant reminders about homework, study, assessment deadlines, and of course the tears, we can never forget the tears, were all worth it in the end. This is, after all part of the journey. It would be remiss of us all to not give thanks to your parents at this time. Graduands, please join me in applause as a sign of appreciation to your parents for their support, guidance, care, and love, which has been pivotal in helping you get to this point in your lives today. Thank you. When preparing my speech for this evening, I found myself asking, how will we best remember the class of 2022? Will we remember you for your resilience and grit, given all you have endured these past 2 years? I'm sure we are all in agreement that graduating in the middle of a pandemic is no small feat. The uncertainty around whether learning would take place virtually or on campus. What about your examinations? Would they happen? Key events such as graduation, will it go ahead? Will you get your diploma in person? At all times, you were patient, showed poise, and approached uncertainty with forethought and determination, and a willingness to adapt where required. Will you be remembered for how you all embody the IB Learner Profile attribute, risk takers? I have witnessed you all firsthand put yourselves out there by joining Week Without Walls expeditions, signing up for the school performances, trying an ECA for the first time, creating new friendships, addressing conflict despite the uncertainty of the outcome. These are all times where you have taken risks and explored that notion of getting comfortable, being uncomfortable. Perhaps you will be remembered for your academic and intellectual prowess, having taught many of you in grade 7 all the way back in 2016, and more recently in TOK last year. I remain to this day in awe of your inquisitive nature and passion for learning. But above all, how I believe you will all be remembered is by the bond that you share as a group. The friendship, care, support, loyalty, and companionship that you offer each other is special and, dare I say, has grown significantly these past 2 years. You have always been there for each other in what has been unprecedented and extremely challenging times. In the absence of connecting with our loved ones around the world, you have become a family. I've always appreciated your inclusive nature as a group, by the way you recognize and appreciate difference, by the way you always welcome new students into our school, making them feel part of our community, ultimately giving them a sense of belonging and membership. What you have created here, it is unique, and it is something to be cherished and never understated. Before you leave this evening, please make a promise to each other that you will continue to maintain the connections and the bond that you have created here at XCL World Academy. I am also quite struck by the bond that you share with another group of special people, your class teachers. When in discussions with some of the students from the class of 2022 regarding arrangements for this year's senior prom, one option was to have a low-key event with reduced numbers to ensure that we were compliant with safe management measures. To keep the numbers low, it was put forth that the teachers would not be in attendance. This was an option which was firmly rejected by the students. As you can imagine, I was curious to know why. The senior prom, after all, is a student-only event generally. And I was also wondering, why would you want a bunch of older people sitting around complaining about listening to Justin Bieber and Ariana Grande on repeat? It was so bad that driving home that night, I was singing to myself, Justin Bieber, baby. But it became clear to me in my discussions with the students that the reason for wanting the teachers in attendance was because of the bond that you had forged with them. Our students saw the prom as one final opportunity to celebrate this milestone together and show their appreciation. For me, this was extremely touching and speaks volume about the character, class, and selflessness of our students. I humbly believe as an educator, there is no greater reward than to watch students who have been under our care walk across this stage here tonight. We are here to witness your rapid transformation, and it is something to truly behold. It fills us with pride, knowing we have fulfilled our purpose and that we have served you well as students here at XCL World Academy. Graduands, I would like to invite you to stand and join me in applause as a show of thanks to the teaching faculty for their contributions during your time at the school. Please join me. Be seated. As I come to the end of my remarks this evening, I want to impress the following upon you all, the class of 2022. Continue to be yourselves, be principled, and challenge the status quo. Strive to always be a positive influence on those around you. Embrace the fact that you are all unique and different. Rejoice and revel in your highest of highs, and remember that even at your lowest of lows, you will always be enough. Continue to show care and kindness to others the way you have demonstrated these qualities during your time here at the school. And at every moment in life, remember to always be kind to yourselves. Class of 2022, it's been a pleasure. We will miss you. Make us proud. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Peterson. Next up, we have a performance dedicated to the grade 12s by the Voices.
Loving can hurt. Loving can hurt sometimes, but it's the only thing that I know. And when it gets hard, you know it can get hard sometimes. But it's the only thing that makes us feel alive. We keep this love in a photograph. We make these memories for ourselves, where our eyes are never closing and hearts were never broken and time's forever frozen still.
So you can keep me inside the pocket of your ripped jeans, holding me closer till our eyes meet. You won't ever be alone. Wait for me to come home. Wait for me. Wait for me to come home. Everybody loves the things you do, from the way you talk, to the way you move, and everybody here is watching you, 'cause you feel like home. You're like a dream come true. You look like a movie. You sound like a song. My God, this reminds me of when we were young. So you can keep
Thank you, Voices, for that lovely performance. I'd like to introduce our faculty speaker for the evening, Mr. Michael Fletcher. Mr. Fletcher is the IBDP CP coordinator and also the head of grade 11 and 12. The faculty speaker was selected by the class of 2022. And it is fitting that Mr. Fletcher was chosen given how closely he works with grade 12 students. He has known and taught some of you since grade 7, and he has been an integral part of your growth and success. Please welcome Mr. Michael Fletcher.
Thank you. It's a long walk all the way around. Good evening. Okay. So, I thought long and hard about what to include in this speech. Speeches of this nature are usually congratulatory and share advice for the future. I have plenty to say for the congratulations. However, the advice part, well, as you all know, I'm still very young. So what advice can I give you? And then I thought, what would I have liked to have known when I was your age, just a few years ago? That wasn't a joke. These life lessons I've learned now, but I should have learned when I was younger. Whilst growing up, I understood the value and importance of hard work. I believed that a strong work ethic would inevitably lead to success. But this isn't always the case. There's been times in my career when I was told I wasn't the right fit for the role, or that other candidates gelled better with the team. I was puzzled by this. I dedicated so much time and effort to teaching, and yet I wasn't reaping the expected rewards of promotion or job security. I quickly learned the value placed on emotional intelligence. I now realize the importance of understanding people around you, knowing people personally, getting to know where they're coming from, their priorities, and knowing how best to interact with different personalities. Emotional intelligence is not something taught in schools, in the same manner as physics, economics, or maths, or any other IB subject. Yes, the adults in your life can guide you in making the right choices, but there's no class. Emotional intelligence is the ability to understand and evaluate emotions, reading subtle cues, and then adapting your actions and behavior to interact with others. Being approachable, supportive, and collaborative is often understated as a contributor to success. The class of 2022 has emotional intelligence in abundance, and let me explain why I believe this to be true. Back in 2016, I taught grade 7.2 individuals and societies. Those students in grade 7 are the students graduating here today. One afternoon, my phone kept ringing, and then the message notification started to come through. I quickly realized I needed to go home as my mother was very ill and needed to go to hospital. Later, I received a couple of separate emails from students in the grade 7.2 class. You know who you are. I'm going to read those emails out. Dear Mr. Fletcher, since our last class, I saw you rush out, and on Friday you were absent. I hope you're all right. Smiley face. Dear Mr. Fletcher, I was worried about you last week. How are you? Can I help? Dear Mr. Fletcher, are you okay? To receive such caring emails from students is heartwarming and unexpected, especially from such young students. It's those kind of days that make me grateful to be in such a rewarding career. Already, the class of 2022 were demonstrating EQ way in advance of their age. The class of 2022 is one of our most diverse cohorts, and by diverse, I don't just mean nationality or cultural background, but by the very nature of each individual person, you are all so uniquely different, and yet you have all gelled together so well. The understanding and acceptance of each of you for others is a trait that this world needs right now. You will discover that in your future, you will meet people who are not as understanding and accepting. You will meet people who do not celebrate the differences that make us so uniquely brilliant. However, I have every confidence that you will remain true to yourself and lead by example and teach those around you to be open-minded, understanding, and accepting. This particular grade level really look out for each other. For example, they never miss an opportunity to celebrate a birthday, checking in on each other when they hear some sad news, and always lift one another up. They really know the true value of friendship. Whilst growing up, I felt blessed to have many friends. I moved away from my hometown for university, and I made new friends, while still keeping in contact with my high school friends, albeit on a less frequent basis. Then I moved overseas, and I made new friends, and I still tried to keep in contact with my high school friends and university friends. Unfortunately, I lost touch with the very friends that made me feel so blessed when I was growing up. With the quick pace of life, I didn't realize what I had lost until dark days when I really needed companionship and I felt lonely. I would tell my younger self to cherish the friendships that I valued so much and nurture these into adulthood. So, prioritize your friendships. Over the years, I've seen how you've grown and matured, seen your friendships evolve and solidify, and I admire your caring nature for one another. Cherish the friendships you have built over the years, as these will form the basis of all your future friendships. Research suggests that friendships can help us find purpose and meaning, stay healthy, and live longer. The intimacy and support, equality, and emotional bonds we have in our friendships is unique. You have the power to decide who you are friends with. After all, friends are the family you choose for yourself. As you continue on your life's journey, you will need your friends, sometimes more, sometimes less. Your friends will rely upon you to be there for them. You are each other's support network. So I encourage you to always value your friendships, always prioritize time for socializing, and never pass by an opportunity to make new friends. I've discovered that everything becomes easier to accomplish when you have confidence in yourself. If you can talk the talk, you're halfway there. Confidence is the most valuable commodity on earth because it allows you to reach your potential. Can you think of a successful person who does not believe in what they're doing? Please be assured that you are all such talented individuals and never let your confidence waver. I see such awe-inspiring talents before me, whether this is consistently achieving maximum IB point scores throughout grade 11 and grade 12, in the arts, in sports, or even your level of emotional intelligence. You are all destined for great things. Class of 2022, be confident in the knowledge that you have acquired. Be confident in the person you are, and be confident in the person you are destined to become. So there you have it, the advice I wish I had when I was your age. Emotional intelligence, friendship, and confidence. This is all you need to be happy and successful. The thing I find most poignant is the idea of doing things for the last time. Today will be the last time you are high school students. However, when one chapter ends, the next chapter begins. What a privilege you have being able to start the next chapter of your lives knowing that you will always have the love and support of your teachers, friends, and family. As a cohort, you are literally moving all over the world, but you all have this in common. You are all XCL World Academy alumni. You have impacted each other's lives tremendously, creating bonds that cannot be broken. So, as you venture out of the bubble, which is known as Singapore, I implore you to take on this world, leave your mark, and make it a better place. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Fletcher, for that encouraging message. I have the honor of introducing our student speaker. The student speaker is someone who speaks on behalf of the graduating class. They have consistently proven themselves to be a role model for their peers. Ladies and gentlemen, it gives me great pleasure to introduce the student speaker for the class of 2022, Prachit Trika.
Thank you to everyone attending today's celebration of the class of 2022 and all of the school's faculty. To all of our parents hidden away in the audience, thank you for single-handedly bringing us to this moment, caring for us in the darkest of times, sharing both our successes and our failures, lifting us up when we most needed you. I'm honored today to speak amidst a truly diverse pool of graduands from over 25 nationalities. Finally, we can say it's done. Despite months of sleepiness, exhaustion, and pure annoyance about the little things in our lives, our connection has never faded. As I reflect on the years that we have spent with one another, it is safe to say that we have grown up as not friends, but as a family. As part of this community, we have grown, aspired to achieve our goals, and acted upon them together. Undoubtedly, our path has been demanding, with hours of homework, countless tests daily, and of course, despite the towering expectations from Mr. Fletcher, nothing has stopped us from attending today's rite of passage. As I recount our experiences, words don't come easily, as it is difficult to explain the multitude of emotions that surge. I remember the first time we truly understood what we would be experiencing in these 2 years. The first round of exams. It was early December 2020, and many of us had only just started realizing what lay ahead. Still, young and careless, we didn't bother too much and lent on people like Darius to give us the answers to all past papers. Only realizing till we did our first few exams how much we had to learn from people such as him. To be honest, the whole journey began to feel somewhat like a horror story when teachers such as Mr. Macaulay said, "Get ready to stop watching Netflix," or Mr. Fletcher remarked, "If you've got time for a Netflix marathon, you're doing something wrong." I look back at moments such as this and realize just how much we've grown and matured with one another, but more importantly, how much Netflix we have to catch up on. These 2 years have been somewhat of a roller coaster of experiences, an indication that our life's journey can never be certain. What we are given should never be taken for granted. We are privileged to be where we are today and provided with all the necessary skills to fulfill our dreams. In recent times, we've faced hardships, a pandemic, a war unraveling in front of us, which all places greater importance on our generation to be the change that we want to see, making that positive impact that humanity is yearning for. Never be reluctant to emulate others. For instance, look at each other. Hugo, for example, personifies consideration of others, and Ella exemplifies how to remain honest and true to oneself. Despite the unpredictability of events outside of our control, it is our responsibility to seize every opportunity that comes in front of us and make that difference. We've learned so much from each other and should continue to do so from the wonderful people we encounter in the future. Look at each other. Look at how much we've learned from Adam's willingness to try new things, Nanako's immense patience, or Tyler's athletic discipline. Today, I don't see young students who started grade 11, but a group of adults, carefully molded by the dedication of their devoted teachers. So many of our teachers have surpassed expectations, dedicating personal time to supporting all of us in completing this journey. Tonight would be impossible without their relentlessness. They've helped us close this short chapter in our evolving stories. If anything distinguishes us from others, it is the teachers, those that have carefully sought the fruition of each of us. Now, whether it's the Monday sessions with Mr. Fletcher or the Friday excitement to sleep into the weekend, I will miss every single moment I've shared with everyone here. For the innumerable teachers who have dedicated their careers to helping us, we are forever indebted to you. For Ms. Tam and Ms. Amani, thank you for spending hours upon hours supporting each of us in our treacherous university applications. And for Mr. Fletcher, know that although many of us still forget our ties daily, you have instilled strong habits into each of us that will remain crucial for years to come. To the leaders of our school and education, thank you for providing us opportunities to shine where others would only dream. And for my peers, I wish only one thing, that you remain true to yourself and never forget your roots. Each of you is unique in your own way, and I'm sure that your bubbly personalities will never cease to amaze those you meet in the future. Today, only one chapter will end in a long book of outstanding achievements that have been written and are yet to be written. You have the power to guide this wonderfully imperfect story that will undoubtedly face success and hardships alongside failures that you must all confront and propel to your life's desire. as we write the final few lines of this chapter, rejoice, for many of our stories have only just begun. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Pratchett, for those inspiring words. Without further ado, we will move on to the moment you've all been waiting for, the presentation of diplomas. For this, I'd like to invite to the stage Mr. Sean Omini, Mr. Mark Peterson, and our grade 12 homeroom teachers, Mr. Nicholas Tan, Ms. Radhika Mathur, and Dr. Sammy Strazo. Our graduates will be receiving their diplomas in alphabetical order by homeroom. Please hold your applause until the end.
Sami Ahmed. Naomi Andrea Alvier Fuji. Shakila Putri Angelica. Rishab Banerjee. Lisa Burgade. Anna Federuk. Darius Fleischman. Kokoro Funabashi. Jet Harrison. Amina Akmal Kandrika. Natsuki Komatsu. Arnav Kulkarni. Krishva Saravanan. Sun Yi Shen. Kasper Teodorczyk. Pratchett Trika. Ilin Tina Wang and Mingxi Shirley Zhu.
Anushka Bhatia. Diego Bilbisi Martin. Lucia Cebrian Gutierrez. Vladislav Ten. Arthur Garnell Dunford Jr. Nanako Kaji. Yeonsu Kim. Ryan Harriman Kwok. Haya Mudassir. Leia Benzivia Tarova. Hua Asia Shu. Yu Shin Shi. Guilherme Sanolini Turi. Lan Zexing, Ning Huan Shu, Wen Hao Shu.
Resha Anandita. Adam Bruce Boktib. Riddhi Chatbol. Ninaz Zubin Chichker. Natasha Louise Elston. Leaf James Gilmore. Shuging Ma. Hugo Ammon Remy Mackey. Everin Oral.
Thank you.
Prakar Pandey. Prashila Ramesh. Ryosei Takahashi. Juliana Anaver Peralta Tarut. Shiyu Yang. Tyler Yap Chiachun. Hung Liu. Ramiro Ramos Ching.
Stay on the stage.
Sorry? Do you want to stay? It's okay. It's okay. Class of 2022, please stand. In an age-old tradition, please move your tassels. You have moved for being graduates, and I am very pleased to announce and to graduate you, class of 2022, from XCL World Academy. Congratulations. Is that okay?
Congratulations, class of 2022. We are so excited to celebrate with you. Our ceremony has now officially ended, but we will be having a cap-throwing photo event on the main stairs. May I please, at this time, ask the class of 2022 to remain seated. Ushers, can you please help to direct the faculty, guests, and parents to the reception lobby on the second floor? Everyone except the graduates, please make your way to the reception lobby.